Everyone in this town has been exactly where you are right now. There are things you need to know about where you are. This is gonna be the worst night of your life. Do you believe in monsters?
What is up, people? What is going on? Welcome back to another episode. That is correct. We are here to do it again. This is episode 6 called Book 74. Just waiting for Brian to kick in. But other than that, I thought I'd just start it up, and I'm sure he'll pop in as soon as he can. Just wanted to say what's up and how you guys doing, and hope you guys are enjoying all the fun themes that we're doing. It's pretty much fun for me to do these things, you know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody that comes in and checks out the show. It is always a pleasure. Speak to the devil. Brian, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I would have been here earlier, but I had to restart my computer, and then I had the update. I was like, crap. You ever have
that? Do it all the time. How you doing, man? Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
I'm Brian the Grizzly. I'm 1/3 of Spoiler Kings. We are on live Mondays to Thursdays and Saturdays, 9:30. Right now, our Saturdays are going to be doing Severance. We're going to do episode 2 this Saturday, and then Mondays and Thursdays, we just kind of going through all the TV shows and movies. I just saw Wolfman, and I saw it, so you don't have to go see it.
It's not good?
It's not a Wolfman movie.
Explain.
So it's more of, he doesn't look like a wolf. The transformation is bad, is really bad. It's a mixed theme thing. So it was like he had problems with his father. So there was like this generational trauma. And this generational trauma made him afraid that he was going to hurt his kid. And then he turned into a wolf to actually hurt his kid. And it had anything to do with anything. No, you got bit by a werewolf. That's why he turned into a werewolf. It had nothing to do with that. Me trying to make these two things equate, and it just wasn't good.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. I wasn't really going to go see it. I'd probably watch it on Nzo Vision, but now that you said that, I don't even know if I'll watch it on that. I'll just wait.
I was watching it. You know, I said it's good enough to stream, not good enough to go waste your money.
I feel you. I feel you, brother. Well, that is Brian, so make sure to check him out. There's some great content over there on the Spoiler Kings. They do the Severance. Silo just ended, so yeah, make sure to check that out. Other than that, brother, we are here to talk about episode 6. First off, what were your thoughts of the episode?
I forgot how interesting it was. Though, like, you know what's going on, you understand all the stuff that's happening, but there's little stuff. Father Khatri throws a lot of shit at people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things he said were really interesting. When you really dive back and you look back at it, it's like, wow, I didn't even realize that. And then I have something about Jade that's interesting. It kind of follows my theory. It might just be because I see it this way with him, or it might be something they've been planting for us the entire time. So,
you know what? The way I've been looking at this show, I've been trying to find things that were planted, and I think they did plant a lot of things in this, so we're going to get into it and have thoughts and what you thought or what you think they planted in this episode. So what are your theories?
Okay, so the first thing I thought was that he kind of comes in with Father Khatri with the sermon and talking about chaos and fate. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was his like voiceover talking about how chaos is could be the meaning of them, why they're there, because of chaos, and fate is God puts you in the right place for this reason, and the struggle that we are to find our purpose is the purpose of them being in the place. So maybe with chaos, fate, and struggle, you find your reason of why we're there, and you can find your way home. That's basically what his sermon was kind of talking about. And I thought that's kind of like the overall the setup for the entire episode. You know, it really tells you what he's thinking about. Then I want to talk about a little bit about Jade. So the first time we meet Jade, right? He almost kills the family, right? So Jim, Tabitha, Ethan, like they almost die because of Jade and them being drunk and high and whatever off their ass. Then when he touches the tree, and you know when they're building the tower, he touches the tree. He literally has blood on his hands. So you know everyone says you have blood in because you're guilty. He literally has blood on his hands, and you see people that are dead there above him. Yes. And then you see the other ones shooting at him as if he's the person who intentionally killed the others.
Absolutely.
And I think this shows you that more we know about Jade, that Jade is someone who literally has blood on his hands because he's the cause of all of this. People like him because, you know, they like how he looks and all this other stuff. I think we're going to find out that Jade is the cause, even with the rest of them sacrificing, he is the cause of all of this.
Interesting. Think Jade could be the man in yellow?
I think Jade could be the person who he probably made the deal with the man in yellow. He could have even gotten the rest of the town involved with it and then had to play nice with his wife and pretend like he was trying to save him when really all along he was the one who set it all up.
So you think Jade may be the ringleader of everything?
Yep. He's the one who made the deal. He's so smart, right? It's so crazy being the smartest person around. So he can pretend to be stupid sometimes, but he's so smart all the other times.
Very interesting. And it's funny too, because when I seen this scene too, that's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, oh, so first off, it's Jim that goes up the tree, right? We already know what happens to Jim. And then next thing you know, the blood drips down the tree. He has blood on his hands. And then we see all the dead bodies up in the tree. Jim is nowhere to be seen.
But Jim is also, think about it, he's in the tree too. So it's another body, technically, that Jade has blood on his hands for. So Jim is up the tree. You see all the dead bodies in the tree, including Jim's up there. And then once again, the blood is on Jade's hand. So Jim's blood is on Jade's hand.
Absolutely. 100%. And if you go back to the episode where Jim died, it was Jim and Jade and Tabitha that actually wanted them to play the music, which caused the man in yellow, which caused Jim to die. Yeah, I saw that too. So what you're basically saying is you have a feeling that Jade is going to end up being one of the big bads.
Yep. That he's the one who caused all of it.
So my question to you would be, do you think that this version of Jade can break that trend, right? Because we know there's been more than one reincarnation of him.
I don't think he wants to. I think he's so smart. He realizes what's going to happen. And he realizes for the greater good of him, because that's what he really cares about. He really cares about him. Then he needs to have everyone die. I think Jim was the only thing that could stand in his way at the time. So it just happened that, you know, multiple times he almost killed Jim. Now, I don't think it's intentionally, but just it happened to be he needed him out of the way. Now with Jim out of the way, he's going to be able to get with the kids. He's going to be able to get closer to Tabitha. I think he was always subconsciously trying to get rid of Jim.
Interesting. Very interesting. So you think subconsciously he knows that, you know, him and Tabitha have some sort of history
or connection,
and everything he's been doing has been trying to get her. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I personally don't think Jade is going to end up to be all the, you know, the good, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be a good Jade at the end. So I agree with you on that 100%. Now, unfortunately, I can't play the videos again because it's been being claimed again. Yep. So the second one has been claimed again. So we're just going to have to go through the pictures. here's one of this, and I think Father Katri had a lot to do in this
Oh,
episode
this is
too.
a good one. Yeah.
Right, where him and Tabitha are having the dream, having the talk, and Tabitha's asking him, are we dead? I don't understand what's going on. Are we dead? And he's basically saying, well, we were here before you got here, so you're not dead.
Was interesting. So Father Katri, they talk about he basically wrote from memory these passages of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these books there, but there's no Bible.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's going to come back to for us later. And then he already knew Tabitha was making a list.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, like, how did he already know? They haven't discussed it in town, but how did Father Katri know it? So either people have done it before, or Father Katri is somehow connected to this stuff, or he's spying on them. How did he already know they were making a list? I think people have done it before, but there could be more to it.
So you think okay, so when you talk about that, it's like the mole thing. You think Father Katri could be a mole?
It's interesting that he's coming back even in ghost form. Speaking in this town, nothing seems to be a coincidence. So him talking to Boyd, all that stuff could be what he was always supposed to be, or supposed to happen. It seems that his story is very weird. Like he just drove to town and he just ended up there. So all of it kind of just doesn't make sense. So I'm wondering if there was more to the story. So to give us a lot of stuff in season 1, and then they could go back in season 3, season 4, and say, well, you thought this, but this was actually what's going on.
Absolutely. And I believe they do that on purpose too, because they know where they're going to go. So they're probably going to go back and do certain things that, is like, oh, okay, interesting. He does say something here in the conversation. I'm trying to remember something about them being meant to be there. You know what I mean? He doesn't say we're dead. He says we were meant to be here. So he already knows that there's a reason why everybody is there. And it goes to pretty much what I said last episodes, where I think that not everybody is a reincarnation, but everybody has a role to play.
And everyone was meant to be where they are.
Yes, exactly. So I believe that maybe, in previous reincarnations, there were people who were maybe not Father Katri, but kind of like the same kind of characters. You know what I mean? Maybe to make the same kind of decisions, the same kind of mistakes or whatever and stuff like that. And again, it goes back to Boyd being to where Boyd seems to be the thorn in the town side.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
there was just, even in this day, when we start seeing the church and you start seeing Katri, he just said so many things. Like what you're talking about, he said specifically, what if we were chosen? So what if it wasn't just a coincidence that all this stuff, we were chosen by someone, some entity, to get the desired result?
Yeah.
So that's kind of going what you're saying.
Which is exactly what I think. I think like certain people are reincarnated, but there are chosen people around there, maybe to guide them in a certain way. Maybe there's some to lead them in an opposite direction. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it comes down to, again, a connection to loss is choice. It all comes down to what choice are you going to make? You know what I mean? And I honestly believe that, the ones that are chosen to be there are ones there to influence the choices that the reincarnated people are to make. So, i.e. Tabitha and Jade, right?
Yep.
And it's very interesting because, like I said, with all the connections that it has to loss, I could see that absolutely being a possibility. Because Jim said, maybe we shouldn't play the tune. Tabitha said, well, maybe we should play it somewhere else, right? You know what I mean? So, like I said, there are the people there that are like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And then there's some that are like, yeah, this is what we need to do to get out.
It's even funnier because I'm thinking about Father Katri. As he got further into the story, we're figuring out more stuff. That's how he got more dangerous. Like, you know, all of a sudden he got too dangerous, and that's when they killed him off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, wait a minute, he's thinking too much. So now I gotta kill him.
Which makes sense because then he started talking to Sarah after Sarah did what he did. He told everybody that she was dead, and he actually wanted to know what the voices were saying to her because he thought that she could be the key to everybody getting out. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Father Kotri did have a lot to do, and I think he was, I'm not going to say manipulating, but I think he was the one that was pushing people to do certain things, right? Because
he's still manipulating Boyd right now.
Yeah, 100%. Because even when Boyd decided to go out there, he was like, well, you need to bring Sarah with you. You know what I mean? We're getting that to the next episode, but it was his idea to make Boyd go with Sarah, you know, because Boyd thought Sarah was gone. He decided that he was going to tie Sarah up and tell everybody that she ran away.
Yep, I couldn't catch her.
Yeah, he said these old legs and I couldn't catch her, which makes a lot of sense if Father Kotri is what you said. So definitely.
Here's another thing he said. What if the people of this town are living the book that hasn't been written yet? Yeah. What if this is the book 74? So I've always said that it seems like it's almost like the Garden of Eden. I feel like you see Adam and Eve in the painting. You know, no matter who is Fatima and Ellis, it's Adam and Eve in the painting, right? So you see that along with what he just said, that this could be the 74th book of the Bible, the book that has yet to be written. What's up, Nikisha?
How you doing?
And what if Jade is really like the snake, or someone that's manipulating it? I'm telling you, this stuff makes more sense. That this could be exactly what Father Kotri said at the beginning, and we're gonna get so far into it that we're gonna forget.
Didn't you say something about book 74 last week?
I did.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that, and you're saying, "Oh, this could be book 74." And it's funny because the title of this episode was book 74.
Yep.
So it kind of makes sense. And like you said, with the biblical references and everything that are scattered throughout the show, I honestly believe that it takes cues from not just Christian, but, all kinds of religions, not just Christianity, right? So
100%. Most religions, if you want to be real honest, most religions are very similar stories.
Yes. So 100%. Just little differences and stuff like that. And I think that's what they're taking references from, which is very interesting because it brings a lot, it brings a lot. Nikisha said they did say all the answers are in the beginning of the show, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to find some of these damn answers, and it's fun to theorize, like we said, but at the end of the day, we could talk about all this and the writers could say, you know what, we're going to switch this around. We're going to switch that around. And everything we said goes out the window. You know what I mean? So,
but I think they just leave so many breadcrumbs that eventually some of this stuff has to come to fruition. I mean, some of the stuff makes too much sense. So, something's going on with Father Kotri. Something's going on with book 74. They wouldn't name the episode book 74, but they did it so early that no one comes back to these facts. Why is it so important? It has something to do with the Bible, guys. Why is there no Bibles there?
And that is something that they actually made sure to let us know, right? Oh, we have all these books here. We have this and that, but we have not one Bible. So wait, nobody in the town came with a Bible, traveled with their Bibles?
It's interesting. They said, we have all these books. All these generations of people that have been here. The most popular book that's ever been written is not in this town.
So why would you think that there would be no Bibles? You think that's maybe a hidden clue as to it being like something out of the Bible?
I think that it'll be too many people will start to pick up on what's going on. Start seeing, locust, or you start seeing those things. That's one of the plagues that these three people are dealing with plague stuff. You start seeing, okay, well, the greenery, and we have everything we need to provide. As long as we do what we're supposed to do, then we have everything we need here. It's like the Eden. You start thinking about the people that are there. You start seeing how people are up in couples. And as long as they're all in couples, they're okay. But once they go outside that couple and they're in town, it becomes a problem.
And you know what? This makes a lot of sense. It's because the numbers 7 and 4 are sprinkled throughout the show. Probably not a coincidence. 100% it's not a coincidence, Nikisha. One thing about Lost is those numbers were sprinkled throughout the show too. They had a significance, and numbers mean something in the show. We already know because the musical notes were in number form, right? That's how they figured it out. So numbers definitely mean something in this show. So I agree with you 100% that it's not a coincidence. And yeah, it could represent book 24, which would make sense that there's no Bibles there if one part of the book is still being written.
Here's one last thing, so about the Bible part. Sarah said the voices told us they want help escaping. They're just like us. They want a way to get out. Now, let's say they're demons. Wouldn't demons want a way to get out?
100%. You see, and that's what I'm saying, because when she goes back, and I was thinking about that, I'm like, oh, maybe because it says she said that the people that are speaking to her were just like us.
Just like us.
So is it the dead people from other reincarnations?
It could be.
You know what I mean? Like if we're sitting here and thinking, well, not even reincarnations, but just the people that died in the town before. Yeah, right. Because another hint to that is when Jade says energy doesn't die, it transforms. Right?
You know?
And
is it the second law of energy? No.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And we sit here and we think about the reincarnation stuff, but we've never actually thought about the people that have actually died in the town. You know what I mean? Where does their souls supposedly, where does their energy go? It could be certain people in the town thinking that this is the way to go, and they're trying to manipulate Sarah or Elgin or whatever into doing certain things. So it may not actually be the man in yellow. The man in yellow may be the one that was on the phone talking to Jim and all of that stuff. But a lot of these voices that they're hearing could be dead people from the town.
The man in yellow could be the protector of the town, to keep the town the way it's supposed to be. And anyone who steps outside that box, he has to put it back in the box. He doesn't want to kill everybody. He just want to keep everyone within that box.
Ooh. Well, he killed Jim. So I don't know.
He was forcing everyone to get out of the box. Jim has been coming up with great plans the entire time we were there. I'm not a huge Jim fan, but every time you think about it, he's come up with the best plan. The tower. We could talk about writing stuff on the walls, trying to ask all the tough questions. You know, every time it was a hard question, like, hey, what you gonna do with Sarah? You know, she comes back to town. Oh, we'll handle it. You know, like Jim is always the one putting forth that question that put people in a bad or a weird place. Hey, maybe we shouldn't be playing that music. Hey, maybe those notes are music notes. Hey, like everything about it is Jim saying, hey, and then giving you the right answer.
And when you really think about it, Jim is really like the only one that has been like skeptical about doing certain things, right? You know what I mean? And yeah, he ended up dying. So he may have been that voice of reason. You know what I mean? And again, I say it before, and I think, like I said, when I talk about the mirror images of Henry and Jim, right? Henry would have probably been the one to die if he had been there during that reincarnation with Miranda. You know what I mean? If he was there at that time, maybe Henry would have died instead of Miranda.
If Henry would have been there, he would have sacrificed himself. He wouldn't let Miranda go by herself, and then Smiley wouldn't just grab Miranda.
Right.
Henry wouldn't allow it.
Exactly. And maybe they would have tried to save Victor differently or something like it. Just would have went a different way. You know what I mean? But now that Jim was there, it kind of totally flips the script. And I do agree that with each reincarnation, they get a little further and further to where they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I think we're getting the furthest now. Yeah, very interesting theories. Very, very interesting theory. It definitely makes sense that it would have something to do with the Garden of Eden.
Mm-hmm. And the next book of the Bible, because you want to know what? Genesis, the Garden of Eden, you know, like in the beginning, this is all in Garden of Eden. So what if this is just like in the end we got Revelations, but maybe there's another book in between or further?
100%. It makes definite sense, and that's why there's no Bibles there, right? It's being written. So I still don't think that it's going to end in a happy way. We may not get the end of the story, but we may get to a point where they get further and further so that we can actually figure out, oh, this is what they need to do in the next reincarnation to stop it or stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
I'm actually under the thought process now. There's not going to be a happy or a sad ending.
Yeah.
It's just going to be what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I do think a lot of people are going to die, so it might be that kind of a sad ending, right? But to sit there and say that they're going to get out and it's going to be hunky-dory and everything's going to be fine at the end, I can't see that. You know what I mean? I can't see that. So
if
I'm more.
You have one person that you wanted to get out. Who would it be?
To get out of the town?
Yep,
only one.
Just one.
Oh, it's Boyd all day, every day.
Okay.
You?
I think it's Kenny.
Real? Okay, I can see that.
And mostly because Boyd is going to have Parkinson's and he's going to deal with all this other stuff. Kenny has had everything taken from him. I think he deserves to get out.
I agree with that. I can see that. Kenny, Donna, right? But I think Donna would be more emotional if she dies. You know what I mean? I think that would be more better for her to end. What about Ellis?
Ellis has been too snotty-nosed kid-ish, you know, and he's not going to go anywhere without Fatima, you know. So like, that's a package deal. So I just feel like Kenny, who's been screwed over time after time after time, even you know with the whole Marielle coming back. Like of all the people you would bring back to this town, you're gonna bring the girl I'm talking to, have these feelings for. You're gonna bring her fiance. I think that was just so weird and terrible, honestly.
Said nobody cares about Ellis. I mean, Ellis is all right. I don't hate Ellis. You know what I mean? At least he was able to smart enough to know, and because we all thought he was going to be this dumb fucker, but at least he was smart enough to know that Elgin was giving him clues. You know what I mean? At least he was smart enough to know that. And we already know about Elgin, right? We already know what Elgin.
Yeah, I mean, Nikisha's here, so I'm gonna let you know. Elgin, come on, man. We know about Elgin. Come on.
So let me ask you this question. Let's just say we do get to the end and there are people that get out. Who do you think get out? Who do you think dies?
If I'm choosing, Kenny's definitely one. Donna wouldn't be a problem one. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Donna did, but I feel like she's too old, and I think she's been there from the beginning, and that her depth will be better going forward. Maybe Victor. I'll be okay with Victor getting out somehow.
You know, we gotta slander Elgin every time
At least
we come on
one
stream.
time.
Yeah, it's we have to.
Hey, how about this? Christy, Sarah, Victor, and Kenny. Those four get out.
Christy, Sarah, Victor, and Kenny. Ooh, it's an interesting take. Very interesting. So I actually think Acosta might get out for some reason. You know what I mean? I just think because she just came in, and again, if we only have 2 seasons left, which I think that's probably where they're going to 5 seasons, right? You know, I I can't see people caring enough for her to die. So I think she would be one of the persons to get out. I think Donna. I think Donna needs to die. I think Donna needs to die for that emotional, someone very important dying. I do agree with you on Victor. I think Victor might get out as well, but I also
spent his
think
entire life there. That's why he should get out.
You see, I agree with you on that, but I also think that he spent his entire life there. So how is he going to adjust in the real world? I think he's probably gonna have to die. You know what I mean?
That's why I said Sarah. So Sarah's done all the stuff that we need her to do. She's the most about it. She's the one who, like, if she goes with Victor, she'll take care of Victor. And I think Kenny will choose Christy over Acosta.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, he has a chance to save either one of them, and he tries to save both of them, but he goes to Christy first, and Acosta is lost.
So you think there's going to be some sort of love triangle between Kenny, Christy, and Acosta?
I was waiting for Marielle to die, and then Christy comes crawling back to Kenny.
So that's a good point. You think Marielle dies next season?
Yes.
Interesting.
She's of the ones who had the white stuff on their eyes and went that place. She's the one that no one cares about.
I think more than 2 people have to die next season.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Randall, I care more about Randall than I care about Marielle. So I feel like Randall makes it, Marielle dies. Acosta dies at the end. Like, she's gonna make it a long way. I think Henry dies saving Victor always.
You see, that was one thing I thought about too. If Victor gets out, it's Henry that dies. But I also think that, if you go by the show and you go by maybe their character arcs, you can pretty much kind of figure out where they're going to end up. You know what I mean? And so far, even though Randall has been a dick, he has his moments where he tries to play a hero. So I could actually see him trying to play hero and dying. I could definitely see that. Nikisha said, I still like the idea of Victor being a creature and not knowing it. Sarah has to die. She has too much blood on her hands.
And that's why she gets to live. That's why she gets to live.
I think.
Who else would take care of Victor once Henry dies? Who's the only other person that has a connection with him?
Facts. And she'll probably, treat him like her brother after losing her brother and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And, she needs a medal for what she did. You know what I mean? To Elgin. She needs a medal. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. That for what she did, for, like you said, being about it, she needs to get out. Right?
It's funny that I said all those people, but I didn't say not one Matthews.
Yeah, I know.
Not one of them.
I know. So I agree with you. I don't think, and I still go with Nikisha's theory that Ethan is the one that comes out of the cellar at the end. I still like that theory. I still want to go with that one. I think Sarah gets lost as a story walker, right? I think she gets lost as a story walker, and I do think that Tabitha, she probably dies too.
She has to die, saving her kids.
Yeah,
she's been the worst parent. She owes them.
Yeah, I agree. Julie and Victor will bond with all her story walking in the past. Oh, so you think it'll be Julie? Yeah. Well, we said that last week, right? We said that Victor, the way he survived, we actually think it was Julie that was going back and forth and saving him. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that it was Julie that was doing all of the stuff.
And if she figures that out, yeah, that's a great connection for them.
Yeah, and Victor is not remembering it properly, right? Because we already know he has that bad memory and he doesn't remember things properly. So I think he knows. And again, couple episodes, he was the first one to talk to her when she woke up in the morning. He's sitting there and he's like, oh, I remember certain things. So he may not be able to put it together yet, but that's why I think that once Victor does put it together and all his information gets out, he's useless. And I think that's why he could die there. You know what I mean? And I
That
think
would be,
Victor.
but I don't feel like Donna and Victor died. I think that's too much from the colony house. I feel like one of the colony house people have to live. And who's better than Victor? I don't know.
No, I agree with you. And I do think that is a possibility that Victor could survive. But with the way people like Victor now, you want an emotional death, it's Victor. And if
Yeah.
Victor dies trying to save Ethan, you know what I mean? Because
So Henry dies trying to save Victor, and then Victor dies trying to save
Ethan.
Wow.
Because Julie is going to be lost. I don't see Julie come like once she starts her story walking, I think she's gonna end up lost. I really do. I really think she's gonna end up lost like Eloise, and that's why I say that Eloise is a story walker too. So, yeah,
she's somehow she's lost in time somewhere, still doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know you weren't here last week. I know.
We both know.
We know that. But yeah, so that's what I think. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. These two, the Matthews family and Victor's family, mirror each other to a T, right? Yeah, so I think that's where we're going to go with that. I really do think that it's going to get to a point where we may even see Eloise. Like you said, maybe Eloise trains Julie to do what she's doing. You know what I mean?
You're doing it all wrong. You're going to get lost doing that, like me.
Mm-hmm. Because if Julie is having seizures, right, when she's doing her walking, I guarantee you when she does it, she's going to have to hide her body somewhere, especially if the man in yellow is walking around there. You know what I mean? So her body just can't be lying out in the open like it was when she first did it, right? When she gave Boyd the rope, her body was just lying there, and luckily Ethan was there to get for help. But I think she's gonna have to hide her body, and I think that's why Eloise is so hard to find, is because she hid and went and did her story walking.
Or she tells everybody what's going on, right? They finally understand what's happening. They said, I can story walk and I'm gonna do this, but you have to protect my body. And we lose multiple of our favorite people
trying to protect her,
trying to protect Julie.
That could be a possibility too. 100%.
Acosta dies from Julie. You know, like both Acosta and Christy are both mortally injured, and Kenny only saves one.
The only problem I have with your theory, homie, is we watched 3 episodes and we know they don't communicate properly. Nobody in this town communicates properly, right? They don't talk. They don't tell anybody anything. So I think Julie may just end up.
What's the thing that could change it? What's the one thing that could change it? Losing Jim to Julie, she might talk to everybody.
Losing Jim to Julie could change it.
Connecting with Victor, and Julie being the linchpin of everything. So she's Tabitha's daughter, right? Mm-hmm. She's the thorn in the side of Jade. You know, she's Ethan's sister, right? You have now this connection with Victor. She's the one to save the day with Victor. Mm-hmm. The man in yellow knows who she is. The boy in white knows who she is. She's seen the Nkui kids. I'm just saying, like, she's been in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
She has a connection with Marielle. She has a connection. I mean, just everyone that has some type of connection with her. So absolutely. I just feel like it makes sense. It's her.
Absolutely. She said, Nikisha said, do you think Julie helped Victor bury those people too? And she moved the car since Randall kind of taught her to drive. Exactly. Absolutely, 100%. And that's why we talked about it. We were like, yeah, because just teaching her to drive like that, and then all of a sudden, so we do believe that it's Julie that went back. She story walked. She was the one that helped Victor get through all of that. At first, we were like, it could have been the boy in white. But if you really think about the boy in white's actions, he's kind of mystical. He doesn't really tell everything. He does, you know what I mean? He comes, he goes, he this and that. It makes a lot more sense that it was a physical person, which is Julie, that helped him do that stuff. helped him
He
survive.
attributes it to the boy in white.
Yes.
I was with
yes.
him, or I did it alone, even though we all know it doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely. So yeah, we do 100% agree that Julie was the one that did all of that. And it makes sense because she learned how to drive, right? She didn't actually drive though, but he taught her. You know what I mean? She just needs to get around in the wheel and practice. And if she's store walking, she's gonna have a lot of time to practice. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do believe that. I do believe it was Julie, 100%. That is definitely a theory that we have. And I think that that's where they're going with that, you know? So we have Jim, they have certain conversations and they're talking about the wires. And of course, we already know that those wires don't lead into anything. But I think, go ahead.
No, it's just I once again, Jade not, Jim and Jade are the only ones that noticed that, and Jade once again had to put down Jim.
Yeah, absolutely.
All that's just who he is. He just can't help but put him down.
Mm-hmm. And then Jim was about to leave. He's like, all right, I'm going to do this. He's like, no, I need your help. Right. And that's when I think
only to climb a tree. I've been like, man, F you.
Facts. 100%. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I think not only does this foreshadow Victor doing not Victor, sorry. Jade doing what he's doing, being the bad guy, it also kind of foreshadows Jim's death because Jim is there and then all of a sudden he has the visions and there's, you know what I mean? Like we don't see Jim, we just see these dead bodies. Now, the question that I have is this Confederate soldier, is this a reincarnation of Jade? Because we always say that, any reincarnations he's seen or any visions he's seen were pretty much reincarnations of him. So is this one of his reincarnations?
I actually think that it's what he did was cause them all to die. I think this is another chance, another time. Every time he has a flashback, it's him causing other people to die.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Christopher. He's the reason why they all died before. He's the guy who did this for this Confederate soldier. I think they were going to kill him because of what he's done. And he probably got stabbed, and he was somehow able to kill this other soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And he's once again another time where he was able to kill everybody.
Absolutely. I do think that this is pretty much of a foreshadow saying like maybe Jade should die, right? Maybe if we don't kill Jade, because this just comes out of nowhere, starts shooting, and then when Jade falls on the ground, it starts trying to stab him. You know what I mean? Like you could actually see it starting to stab him. So
maybe you are the one that has to be killed in order for this.
Right. Because if we go back to the previous reincarnation, we've said that we think that it was actually Christopher that gave up the people in the town that died, right? Yep. So it kind of makes sense that we're foreshadowing that Jade has to die.
Every reincarnation of him has forced people to die. He is the reason why people die, because he only thinks about himself.
Right. And he always ends up doing the wrong thing, because when we got to the last episode and they start talking and everything, it's like, oh yeah, we tried to save our children and he feels really bad. But then you get to see the Christopher side of it, where Christopher doesn't believe anything that the boy in white is telling him. So I think that may be something that ends up happening to Jade, to where he gets jaded, where he thinks that, okay, I thought I was doing the right thing, but now I know that everything is a lie, right? Because if he ends up getting visions or finding out that he is actually the one that caused all of this, that could change him in the real world. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To where it's like, I don't give a crap anymore. And I think maybe not being directly killing people, but because he doesn't care anymore, because he doesn't believe anymore, causes the actions of making everybody die.
Would you be surprised to find out that Christopher had a voice that told him, hey, if you let everyone else die, you'll be able to get out? And the boy in white knew about them saying that to him. And he was trying to tell him the truth. No, if you do this, we could save everybody. And that's why he was saying, no, and ran away. but he was still determined to make sure that he died, that everyone died.
You know what? I'm right there with you. I do think that it's a possibility that he hears a voice, and yeah, it could definitely be a possibility because he sees visions, right? He sees visions. Jade sees visions, so yeah, I could see a reason why Jade would actually hear voices. But would he do it though? That's the thing, right?
I mean, everyone died.
Yeah, Christopher. Well, I'm
Yeah, I
talking
think
about this Jade.
Yes, I think Jade would do the same thing. I think eventually, if he thinks everyone will die, or he could save everybody, either one. Either I'm going to save everybody, or everyone's going to die because of what I do. Because he's so high and mighty on his own belief of himself. You know how crazy it is for me to talk to everybody and be smarter than everyone else? That type of cockiness does kill people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also think that season 2 and 3, he kind of curbed his cockiness a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's probably still there, like you're saying. It's probably 100% still there, but I think he kind of curbed it a little bit to where
Eddie, hey, you should go talk to your wife.
Yeah,
you did. And now I'm like, oh man, let me help you pick up the pieces of your heart.
If they do that, I'm gonna be pissed. If they do anything like that, or Jade and Tabitha, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. It's gonna make me hate Tabitha even more.
You see all these groups. I look at on Facebook. I see on Threads. People think Jade and Tabitha are going to be a thing.
Oh, really?
All over the place. I mean, and that makes me wonder: is it intentional?
You know what? Everything in this show is intentional, so it doesn't surprise me one bit if they were to do something like that. But I don't know. I think because of the kids, Tabitha might not go that route. You know what I mean?
Won't remember she got kids, man. You talking about she forgets half the time.
That's true.
She gave Ethan the weapon and said, "Hey, let's break up this house."
For real. And that's what they ended up doing. They started looking for things and breaking down doors. Now we get to, obviously, we know about the bracelet that she finds. Did you find anything suspicious or anything new about that?
The only thing I thought about was just the story that Ethan was telling.
Yeah.
You know, the dragon, the lonely dragon, and the Criminal, and how when he got the map of the place, all of a sudden he was able to get out. So I was like, maybe in there's a map of the entire place that someone drew. And this is where it is. It's hidden. But no one wants to go through it all.
Because we have seen maps, right? Boyd had a map when they were looking for Fatima. I think there's another map that they show in Victor's truck, right? There's a map in there as well. So you might be right to where that there is another map. Will it show the way out? Maybe not the way out, but maybe where their destination is. Yeah. The destination is to go where they have to stop the man in yellow or the boy in white. Because I still
this
think
is the way to the lighthouse. This is the way, and it's gonna be two groups: one to the lighthouse and then one to the dungeon. And this is the way you get there. And you follow the map, you figure it out, and it's like they figure out a way to get out, but then can the two groups actually get to the place where they can to get out?
Right. I think because I know Tabitha got pushed out of the lighthouse and then she was out. I really don't think that is the way to get out. I don't. I just think it was the boy in white, again, manipulating certain things because they had to bring Henry in there, right? Henry had to be there for whatever reason. And I think we'll find out next season as to why Henry is so important to be there, right? Because he said this is the only way. And she didn't really do anything other than because even when she looked at the pictures at that point, she didn't really figure out anything with the pictures because when she came back, she was like, oh, maybe they were right. Maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe this, right? So when you really think about it, the only significant thing she did was bring Henry back to them. back to the town.
And killed all those people in the ambulance.
In the ambulance, yeah. Yeah, 100%, right? And then brought Acosta in there, which is probably going to be the one that divides the town, right? Because I still think we're going to have two divisions. We're going to have the Boyd side, and then we're going to have Acosta side, right? And I think that's going to be an issue going into next season, or maybe like towards the end, going into the final season, because I think it makes
this whole thing, dude. The Elgin thing is going to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, 100%.
That's going to separate them a lot.
Yeah,
so the Fatima and then the Elgin is going to separate these people from season as soon as you start season 4.
100%. And I do believe that there were people that understand, yes, Boyd, you did what you had to do. We get it. But there's going to be the Acosta side that are like, nah, that's not the way to do it. Especially they're going to see Elgin running around there with no eye. You know what I mean? Because I don't think he's dead. I don't know. I don't think Elgin is dead. I don't think he's gonna die. I mean, you kill me. You poke my eye like that, kill me. Kill me. Don't. I'm not. No, kill me. Right. So, but we do have a hospital. We do have a nurse. So they're gonna take him to the hospital, bandage up his eye. You know what I mean? Do certain things to keep him alive. So I don't think he dies yet. But if he doesn't die, because we haven't even talked about what happened to him, how that is actually going to affect him
going forward. I mean, how's it going to affect him, period, with the rest of the town people too?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you're going to have the people who say he kidnapped Fatima, but he thought he was doing the right thing. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have the other side saying, no, he kidnapped Fatima. You know what I mean? So, Nikisha said, Elgin won't be running anywhere. He has one good eye and one good hand. That poor man. It should took both eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And left him outside and put him in the cart.
Facts, 100%. You know what I mean? So I do think that, she said, I would console and nature him through his chattery. He didn't kidnap her. She went willingly.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. So wait, hold on. Yes, she did but he lied to her to get her there. Right? He told her that's where Ellis was. He's like, oh yeah, Ellis can take you here. And then when he got her there, he wouldn't let her leave. So technically, he did kidnap her.
Let's try that with kids.
Facts.
I didn't do that. Only thing I did was leave them a trail of candy, say their mama was back there, and lock them in.
Facts. So wait, let me ask you this then. So Elgin kept Fatima safe, but he helped bring back Smiley. You know what I mean? Like, yes, men will lie. Yes, some of them will, but that's the point. He lied to get Fatima there, you know? Fatima killed someone though. Yeah, but it wasn't her. We know it wasn't. Right. We know it wasn't her. And plus, we already thought Tilly was sus anyways. You know what I mean? Like,
we'll find out that was a help.
Are we really upset that she killed Tilly?
How are we mad at Fatima for killing Tilly when Tilly wasn't even mad?
Facts.
Like, Tilly was fine with it.
Because Tilly told her to run, right? And I mean, even with the context of what happened throughout the season, I guess we'll find out why she told Fatima to run. Because honestly, I don't think her story is over yet. I don't think she's just having that baby and it's over yet, right? The town people, when they find out that she gave birth to Smiley, are going to be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But it just doesn't, it just wouldn't make sense to me. I still think she's going to turn into a
turn on Boyd right there, because they realized if they would have been able to kill Fatima,
right,
then none of this would happen.
So here's the question though. Would have killing Fatima, it probably would have stopped her from having the baby, but would somebody else have had it? Because if they're destined to come back to life regardless, And if that's how they come back to life, like we just seen it happen with Smiley, we don't know if that's how they all come back to life, but I'll assume that is, right? I'll assume they're reborn. So if it happens to her, they kill her, then it would have probably went into Christy or Marielle, you know what I mean? Or someone else. So that was inevitable for Smiley to come back. The town would have probably put Fatima in the box 100%. She said, I can't with y'all, shaking my head. Elgin lives.
He does live. He lives. You know, hopefully he has a third eye that he actually could see now. Because before he was totally just think, oh, that's an angel. If he thinks that's an angel, then maybe he's upside down. I don't know. Maybe he's a problem.
Facts. I don't get the Elgin love. I don't, but we've forgiven Sarah. So if Elgin does something proper, I'll forgive him. You know what I mean? If he does something proper,
he let him a pirate and he'll be good to go.
Right. Like Sarah's been saving people. You know what I mean? It's not just that. She saved Tabitha. She saved Ethan. You know what I mean?
She saved Boyd's soul.
Yeah. That's the big part. It's 100%. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna save Boyd, then I'm all down for you. You know what I mean? 100%. 100%.
It's funny though, because I listen to all these other shows and all these other groups. People love Sarah still. I mean, they are screaming it. Love Sarah. Mm-hmm. She's allowed. People are allowing her into the cookout. I'm like, man. Yes.
Why can y'all forgive Sarah and Fatima but not Elgin? Elgin was misled just like the others. Yeah, but the others have, well, Fatima not yet, but Sarah redeemed herself. That's what I'm saying. Like, she redeemed herself. She saved people. You know what I mean? She did though, and not just what she did with Elgin, but she saved people. So that's why
Elgin
I think
promised to save people and then did nothing.
Exactly. So if Elgin does something to save people, then I'll give him a pass. I'll be like, all right, you know what I mean?
I'll give him one rib.
Yeah, you get a blind.
you get one rib. That's all right.
You can stand outside of the cookout.
Exactly. You can smell it. You can smell it.
You know what I mean? You can stand outside of there. But until he does that, I mean,
she's actually right. He did save people, didn't he? At the beginning on the bus.
Yeah, but that was way before he did the stupid shit. You know what I mean? He has to fix the stupid shit first, and then we can do that. Elgin saved people already. He saved
Ellis too.
When did he say? Oh yeah.
He did.
He risked his life to drive Ellis to Christie. He did, but again, all before he did the fuckery, right?
I was being real with you. It's because I look at Elgin, I can see myself, right? That's the young black guy, right? I'm not young anymore, but I am black and we are a man. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I see myself in that, right? And he did all the stupid stuff. I don't see myself in Sarah. That's Sarah, someone else. I'm mad at him. He's mad at he's here with us. Now I'm gonna punish him. He needs better. You should know better. I know my grandma told me.
Facts. And like I said, if he saves more people towards the end, all right, you get to die. You know what I mean? But until then, nah. You started, see, and that's the character arc I'm talking about. So you start off good, saving people, then you do some bullshit, right?
You kicked out the barbecue. You cooked out, and then you can bring you back. Well, you can't go to the barbecue, but we brought you a plate. Maybe I get some aluminum foil and he could get a plate. It's possible still.
Facts. Because let's just put it this way. A lot of people still don't forgive Sarah for what she did. You know what I mean? Boyd does. You know, and I think Boyd actually was the only one so far that really, you know what I mean, until we find out, you know, maybe there'll be more now. Victor but Victor still said she was the scariest person in the town.
So yeah, you're the scariest one here, so I'm good.
You know, so even Tabitha didn't really have, you know, forgive Sarah for what she did, you know. But I think because of Boyd being the closest to her, and going out with her, he's seen it, you know? He's seen it. I forgive Elgin because, like, in real life, people want to punish the black man and not others. He deserves the same grace and the less melanated, especially from his own people.
100%. So if he does something good, I told you I will wrap up a plate for Elgin.
Facts.
You gotta do something good.
Facts.
You gotta do something that shows me that you learned something from your grandma.
Yes, 100%. You know what I mean? That you want to make up for the mistake that you did, right? Because he's like sitting there and he's saying, "Oh, we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out." What now? I even said like, how's his reaction gonna go after what the town did to him? But how's he gonna react when he finds out he's the reason why Smiley came back? Right? Is he gonna feel guilty now because he thought he was doing the right thing and realized that it wasn't? You know, is it gonna be that type of situation for him? So it all depends on how he acts next season. Now I know we probably won't get much of him because he's going to be down and out for a minute. But I think people in this town heal pretty quick. You know what I mean? I think that's the one thing that they talked about in this.
Right? You put the eye back in, put a little patch over it. Good to go.
Facts.
You need 2 hands.
Facts. You know what I mean? Wrap up his hand. He's good to go. You know, we'll see.
No one told you to lie to Boyd. You know better.
Facts. Facts. All you had to do is tell where she was at that point. You know what I mean? So,
because he actually hurt his own people too. I'm just saying.
100%.
Yeah, is also Boyd's daughter-in-law, Ellis's wife. So there's only a few of us in here, and he messed up all of us. So yeah, no, black on black crime don't work, man. Black on black crime don't work.
I'm gonna stop commenting about it so it doesn't feel argumentative. Please, no, I strongly disagree. Very, very strongly. That's fine. Fine.
I actually like what you argue with. It's not even arguing. I'm just saying.
That's fine. You can definitely disagree with us. Doesn't mean you're right, though. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But at the same time,
ask me if I think Sarah was right. I'm saying people do. I still think it was hard for me to watch what she did.
Yeah, Sarah didn't. What she did wasn't right either, right? She killed Jade's friend, right, for no reason. She tried to kill Ethan. You know what I mean? Because of that, her brother died. Kenny's father, exactly, 100%, and the little nurse that was there too at the time. So, yeah, I do honestly think that she hasn't done but when she went ham on Elgin, and I know it's like, because you said it before, it's like, you're happy because the white woman did something to the black man. But if it was a white man there too, I'd have still felt the same way. It didn't matter the color. I just think that Elgin should have known better because of his color. You know what I mean? We ain't looking at Kimona Lady and thinking she's an angel. No, we are backing the hell up and we are getting out of there. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. You know what I mean?
I asked you this, Nikisha. If you were sitting there and you had a Polaroid camera and just automatically took a picture,
facts,
what would you do?
Facts.
That's my question. What would you do?
You know what we would do? Get out.
I wouldn't even look at the picture. I literally just would leave.
Yeah, me neither. I wouldn't look at the picture either. I just see it, and I'd be like, did that camera just pull out a picture? Yeah, so Fatima, do you have any more of that chronic over there? Because I'm going to go sit in this corner and I'm going to smoke right now because there is no way. No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Not to mention his first interaction with the kimono lady was her trying to drown him. Yeah. It wasn't a good experience.
She was trying to baptize him. You missed it, Anzo. She was trying to baptize him. That's why he's saying things.
Well, she is an angel. You know what I mean? So I guess that's exactly what was happening. But no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Elgin. I'm sorry. I hope he redeems himself. I really do. For us as a people,
I'm going to be the first one on his side.
Facts, 100%. Doesn't have to be anything big, just something. You know what I mean? Something to where he can say, "Yes, Elgin, you did the right thing. You're back on the good side." You know what I mean?
If Elgin saves Baka somehow, he's back in the cookout.
Facts. Facts. If Kimono Lady was Kimono Man and it was Idris Elba or Lucas from Silo, then I'd be posing for pics with that Polaroid. So first off, we're talking about from here. So we're not gonna be talking about no damn Lucas, all right? Lucas should have died in that last episode. So we ain't doing that with Lucas. We're not doing that. What's up from Aholic Fletch? How you doing? Thanks for
How you
popping
feeling,
in,
Fletch?
brother. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we're not doing that. But okay, so even if it looked like Idris Elba, but had the rotted face like Kimona Lady, you still taking pics? Right? Because yeah, sure. If Kimono Lady walked out looking like Sayna Lathan or Halle Berry, you get me to do whatever the fuck you want me to do. You know what I mean? But that's not how she looked. You know, that is not how she looked. I'm right
If
there
you're
with
like
you.
Halle Berry, I'd be like, yeah, she's an angel. I'll be
Yeah,
with just for Elgin.
100%.
No one will be sitting here talking about Elgin at all. We'll be like, man, he made the right decision. Sarah was proud.
Facts. I'd be like, yo, Kimono Lady came to me. I'd do the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? That shit, she was hot. But
you ever seen your boy do something wrong, and then you see why he did something wrong?
And then you're like, yeah,
I understand, bro. I understand.
I hear what you're saying, bro. I got you. Yeah. I would have probably done the same thing. You know what I mean? We both know it's wrong, but I'd done the same thing. Yes, I agree with you. But she didn't look like any of that. You know what I mean? She had like a crater or a cut or something in her.
No, it was like her cheeks were just
like
missing like part of the skin.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? So Elgin, you don't get a pass for that. You know what I mean?
She whispered in my ear. Why?
And even still, right? If it's Halle Berry or Sayna Lathan, you gotta promise me a little bit more than getting out of there, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Yeah, promise me a little bit. No, polish the knob a little bit or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. Then I'm like, okay.
It's funny because we get back to this episode. That's what old dude left those flowers on the
facts.
At least that monster looked good. I understood him.
Yes,
he did something stupid too. No one blames him for opening that door.
Yes, 100%. 100%. He in there, right? And you can see the scene where he's walking through. You hear the moaning. You know what I mean? So someone's getting fucked, right? He ain't getting no boom boom. And then you got this little. I wouldn't have done it, but I could see as a lonely man he's doing it, which is kind of funny too because it brought me back to the flowers. Now I remember when Sarah, Julie brought in the flowers, and she's like, "Oh, that's great," and it was like, "Oh no, they were arranged there. I found them outside of the door." And I used to think that the flowers had something to do with Fatima, but now I understand that it was actually him putting the flowers out there for her. You know what I mean?
And she says, "I didn't get it. I didn't get the flowers."
Yeah,
and that's what I was talking about.
The amount of eye rolling I'm doing right now. Why though? I mean,
if you listen real quick, listen real closely, you can hear her eyes roll.
Facts. Like, snapping the finger. You know what I'm saying? I can see it all. Definitely 100%. I barely remember, but I think there were flowers in the cave too. Ooh, that's an interesting thought too.
What if she took the flowers back? Once she got inside and she killed everybody, she took the flowers back.
Oh, possible, right? Because I know, and I think we're going to get more details as to why the creatures are doing what they're doing, right? Obviously, I think it's to eat the organs because they need to eat. They may not need to eat every day. They may not eat all the time, but definitely they need to eat some of the organs. I believe that's where the blood came in. I think that's where it showed us, right? So I could see that. But at the same time, when it comes to them, I lost my train of thought. My bad.
So, as far as the monsters, I wonder, are the monsters the voices that saying help us escape? Are the monsters also trying to escape? but they just can't help it because they have to do what they're supposed to be doing. I wonder if they're the ones speaking to him.
You see, that I think we had that theory where it was like I think it was mine. I think this was mine where I said that the monsters obviously have no souls, right? So their souls could be in the town, and those souls could be the ones that are manipulating the people, the voices that we're having, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that it's the town people whose souls are doing that, but it could be the creature's actual souls doing that. And I agree with you. It's possible that they could want their souls to be freed as well. You know what I mean?
It's something else that was said. So the voices said everyone died because the people in the cars, and this has happened before, but everyone died because of the people in the cars. So is there anything that Ethan did that make you think that he's the person that caused everyone to die?
Ethan?
Yeah, there's nothing that Ethan did that makes me feel like he's the reason why everyone died. Or Julie. No, not really. Or Jim. No, not really.
No, I think it's Jade.
It has to be Jade.
Yeah, it has to be Jade. Not on go ahead.
Every level, in every reincarnation, I think Jade is the one who's killing these people or causing them to die. Everyone dies because of Jade. And I think we're gonna find out that he did it the first time. I'm telling you, I just see it. There's too many things that point to him as being a problem.
I agree with you 100%. And I was gonna go back to when they first see Jade. It's their car that crashes into Tabitha's car. Now I know he wasn't driving, right? But it's obviously that they were doing something in the car that it wasn't paying attention to, right? So that's why the crash ended up happening. So yeah, from the start, Jade has been fucking up shit.
He also almost killed all those Matthews. Did we survive the crash?
Yeah.
The reason Ethan had a thing in his leg because of Jade.
Yeah.
Like literally, he's been there. So he almost killed Ethan. He did kill Jim. I wonder what's going to happen with Tabitha and Julie.
I agree. Jade is going to get people killed 100%. But I also think that this version of Jade maybe. So I don't want to, because I know we have this where he turns bad and he gets all jaded and stuff like that. But I think maybe it could just be the wrong decisions that he's making, right? Maybe he's actually trying to do the right thing, but everything he's doing is wrong, right? And again, that could be something that turns him into Christopher, whereas I don't give a shit anymore. Everything is a lie. You know what I mean? So I believe that's where it goes to. I think he tries to do the right thing, and everything he does is wrong, you know? And that's what turns him into.
Yeah, because I agree that he's unintentionally doing a lot of this stuff. I don't think I think he is thinking about doing, but in just who he is a self-centered person. He says, I think I'm better than you. I'm self-centered. You know, I do more with what I had than you did what you did. And that's kind of been his character. But because he looks a certain way, everyone's like, oh, no, Jade, it's okay. No, he's not. And all the evidence says that he's causing people to die.
Facts. And his name is Jade. He's Jaded. You know what I mean? Like, duh. It kind of makes sense when you put it that way. Jade might blame himself for Jim dying since he played the music, even though Jim cautioned them not to.
Multiple times.
Absolutely. 100%. The guilt might F his head up 100%, especially when they've had their, ups and downs. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, I'm here to help you. So now Jim is on your side here to help you. And now you played the music and Jim died, right?
Jim has been on Jade's side to help him all the time.
Yeah.
In this episode, once again, building the radio, doing all the legwork. Jim has been on his side every single time.
Absolutely, 100%. Jade didn't have his dad growing up. He might hate himself for taking Julie and Ethan's dad away. Agreed. 100%. And
What
that
if
could
he
be
doesn't? What if he doesn't? And he tries to replace them, or he does, and his instance for trying to do that is
to replace him.
I feel like I took your father away, so I need to be there for you. And then you hear that the classic line, "You're not my dad. Get away from me."
Yeah. I could see that too. And let's be real. Tabitha is not innocent too. She has a lot to blame too as well, right?
Well,
Because
hell
she encouraged the music to be played. So they both have issues with
blood on their hands.
reason. Yeah, pretty much.
Tabitha might go crazy.
Yeah.
Without Jim, she might go crazy. And I think once again, Jade is going to be there not to be a bad guy, to be that supportive, and knowing that they have that connection to each other and feel a little guilty. That also might cause him to get into like some type of relationship with her. You know, like a best friend is trying to be there for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not really trying to do anything, but a relationship develops because of it.
Yeah.
That's what I think will happen with Jade.
Which could cause a problem with the kids, right? Because they seeing that you trying to replace my dad, which could be an issue, which makes Julie want to go back and save her dad because, you know, Jade trying to step in.
Mm-hmm.
That could definitely be a
and Tabitha doing that stupid line said, "No one could replace your dad, even though you're literally doing it and you're the cause."
Right. And you also have to understand that with the fact that now they're remembering that they were reincarnations, is it possible that feelings could start to come along because of that? You know what I mean?
When they see their daughter now they see her, they now remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Random, but Brian, talking about the radio made me think about Earth Abides. Brian, have you thought about talking about that? I like the show a lot. It doesn't seem like many folks even watched it.
Dude, so we saw that in the finale. Earth Abides is the show that we saw during the finale of from this season. It is interesting to say the least. Post-apocalyptic. You think you're the last person on Earth, and like the stuff that happens in the first 2 episodes will hook you in. And then when you see the 3rd episode, you see what happens. I don't want to give away too much. I think you either want to watch the show or you don't want to watch it, and you can't help but watch the whole thing.
I tried to get Nzo to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know. Have I really seen anything about it? Because when we did the thing, I didn't get the 10-minute.
Oh, yes, you're right. You didn't get that.
I didn't get it. So I never seen anything for the show. I never seen a clip for it. I have no idea what the show is about or anything like that. But I don't know. It'll be one of those shows that I'd have to just catch on a night where I'm like, I got nothing to watch and then throw it on or something like that. But I don't know. We'll see.
I watched like 4 episodes in one night. So,
and that's the whole series dropped, or it's weekly.
I believe it's weekly.
Okay.
It's now all dropped. It's there now.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while since it's been out. So what else do we have? So we have Jade. He finally finds out about and I guess that's Christopher's book we see, and he gets the pictures of the things he is seeing and stuff like that.
He saw that also with the Civil War people.
Yeah, he's seen it on the tree. Right? He's seen the symbol on the tree. So
I will tell you the truth is when I saw it the first time, because I didn't remember the scene. When I saw it and I saw him touch it, I felt like the tree was bleeding. So the children were bleeding, the tree was bleeding.
Yeah.
He caused the children to bleed.
Yeah, it made it look like the tree. It made it look like the tree was bleeding at first, and even still, when you look at the picture, right? So let me go back to it real quick, because I believe you. I think it is actually the tree that's bleeding, because when you see it from the top view here,
their blood is there.
Yeah,
the tree has its own blood.
Yeah, 100%.
So I feel like these are all the victims of Jade. No, I mean I love Earth Abides, so no, always got your back.
I agree with you though. I think that he could be seeing the cause. And to be honest with you, this could be a sign. Like, it's like, okay,
caused the death of those kids,
right, by bringing the man in yellow back, right now. So people dying because he played the tune, and that's what happens when people play the tune. The man in yellow comes and everybody dies. Now my question is that the reason why everybody died in Christopher's reincarnation? Is it because of the man in yellow, or is it because of something Christopher did?
That's what's going to really let us know. Did he set them up? Did he tell where everyone was? All the hiding places. Because did the monsters kill Christopher, or did he set everybody up because he thought he was going to be released, and then we find out that he didn't change his mind, and then they died, or he died because he tried to change his mind against the monsters and tell them, no, don't kill that person, and then they killed him.
Absolutely.
So he wasn't supposed to die.
Right. And another thing that we never, or I don't think we really actually talked about it, right? But it was the significance of that music, right? So when I think about the music, it's like he played it, the man in yellow came. But what happens when they played it in the original timeline? Was that a song that they used to trap? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Was that a song that they used to trap him? And that song not only traps him, but lets him out. Then, did Christopher's reincarnation play the song?
What if it wasn't Christopher, or was it Tabitha and Jade's reincarnations that actually put the notes in the bottle?
What if it wasn't what?
What if it was the man in yellow that put all the notes in the bottle and waited for someone to figure it out?
It's possible. Said, oh, who put the music note numbers in the bottle tree? If the music is bad, then it doesn't make sense that Miranda did it. 100%. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's like, I agree with you. It's like, if the music notes are bad and it's what brings the man in yellow out, then why would you even throw that in a bottle for future reincarnations to find out, unless the music is not actually as bad as we thought it is, but it's just a way to stop him and bring him back?
Or the it's even different. The music is actually the thing that keeps them alive. It's the one that caused because the music was played, now he sees them as a threat. Now you're going towards the path where I might have to kill you because you're getting to the real purpose.
Too close. You're getting too close.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it might not be the music might not be a bad thing. It might be a good thing. We find out.
It might be. It might be. But again, so that would have to ask the question: is the music? Is that what actually brought him back, or is it because they got closer to remembering things? Right. So I think we need answers for that too. Right. Like they could put a note that says, "Don't play this song." Yeah, they should have. They should have. Right. It's all a mystery as to why they did it the way they did it. Right. But I guess.
Well, maybe some of them. Man in yellow can't be up in a place where he couldn't be summoned, because if he was, then he wouldn't be calling them on the phone.
Right. Yeah. You
know, so he still has the ability to talk to them. He's the ability to manipulate things. Then they got to a certain point when he decides, I'm going down there and fix it myself. You know, that like a Thanos thing. You know, he kept coming down here. I can't trust everyone else to do their job. I'm going to come down and make sure it's done myself. And he killed Jim because his ideas were always right. Jim, you know, told him it's music notes. It makes sense. He's watching it. And he realized I need to kill Jim because he's going to come out with a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of makes sense too, right? Because the original playing the music brought the Ankui kids to them, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was like, oh, they sat down, said, remember, and boom, they remembered it. But I just have this feeling that it's good in a way, and it also, like, it has good, but it also has bad things that happen when you do it, right? So the good part about it was bringing the Acuity kids, helping them remember, but the bad thing about it was actually freeing the man in yellow, because I honestly believe that they do something to trap the man in yellow, and I believe this is the first time he's actually coming around. Like, I don't believe he came back in Christopher's reincarnation, because
he didn't need to, though. It could be that he
right,
didn't need to.
right, because they killed everybody in the town. So if they did bring him back in that reincarnation, there's nobody there to stop him. So he still have been roaming around the town, which means, at least in my mind, that he would have been there from the beginning. You know what I mean? So I honestly believe that he never came out. This is the first time he's actually been out since the original Prime situation that happened.
What if there's gonna be a
Facts.
long? Well, as we're waiting for next season. Yeah,
Facts.
I agree. What if that song actually does exactly what it says it's going to do? In Cooey's, it causes people to remember. So anyone who's been there in a past life remembers all the lives when they hear that music.
Mm.
What if they play that music in the town? Because it's not going to bring at least another man in yellow. What if they play the music in the town and Boyd was been here before and he remembers?
Mm.
You know, what if it causes a mass memory of all the past lives that some of them have endured?
That would be interesting. That would be interesting because, again, we already theorized that there are some people that are chosen and some people that reincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Tabitha and Jade are just the only two, right? There could be other ones. Abby, Boyd's wife, was definitely chosen. She may not have been a reincarnation, but she was definitely chosen to be there for a reason, because she was having visions. She, you know what I mean? So, and she was doing probably what Christopher did, right? Except Boyd was there to stop her.
Exactly. If I kill everybody, we'll all wake up.
Yeah.
And that's what that's probably they told Christopher. If we kill everybody, we'll all wake up. And they'll probably tell Jade, if we kill everybody, we'll all wake up.
Yeah.
And Tabitha won't stop it because her number one question was, did we survive the crash?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what did Father Kotri say? He says, either way, what if we didn't survive the crash and this was some type of purgatory? Well, the only thing that would happen is we still want to go home, but just the destination will change.
Right.
Maybe they think that the destination is getting out of there, going to heaven.
Yeah, possible. Because we definitely know it's not purgatory, so that's a good thing, right? So we know what's happening is happening. It's an interesting take. I would definitely be interested to see where Jade goes from here. I really do. Because I kind of like him being the cause of it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that it's something else. I think it's something deeper. I still think there's something deeper that we're still missing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I do. I think that.
Well, I believe it because that's exactly what Jim said at the beginning of the episode.
Facts.
There's something deeper. There's something that is missing.
Facts. And I think a huge answer is the boy in white as well. I think that is going to be a huge answer as to whether he's really good. I don't think he's completely bad. I don't think he's completely good. I think he's there just to manipulate things for certain reasons, whether it's, you see, because again, I go back to Lost, where Jacob needed someone to protect the island, right? Maybe the boy in white knows that this is just going to be a loop that's going to happen over and over and over again. And he always will need someone there to pretty much protect the town, right? To give guidance.
I got one last thing that I want to talk about.
Let's do it.
The title that says Book 74. Okay, we all know there's 73 books in the Bible. 73 books of the Bible, that were put together to get the Bible. So I typed in book 74 meaning, and it says 74 in the Bible has only been used twice. One of them, which is the most popular one, is Psalm 74. In the Psalm of it is the Psalm of Lamentation that describes the destruction of the Temple of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. The Psalm is a plea to God to remember His covenant with Israel and save them from their oppressors.
Mm.
I don't know if it means anything, but it could. I'm just saying, save them from their oppressors. The whole idea of book 74 for this thing, they're starting off with a prayer, talking about chaos, fate, faith, and struggle. It's like a plea to God to get them from their oppressors. The monsters at this point in time right now is the oppressors. I just think that it's very circular. I love the way that kind of works.
And it makes sense too, because I believe that this town, again, a lost reference, is what you would say the court, right? Which is keeping the man in yellow locked in there, because the man in yellow definitely, I don't think it's just like, oh, we want reincarnation and what, we're going to stay in this town. No, he wants to be free, right? He wants to be free. He wants to be free. He wants to be able to walk the earth, kill people, whatever. So hence maybe Lucifer, the devil, something like that type of way.
This is the devil's gate.
Yes.
And these people are actually good people because they are the ones that are keeping the devil at bay.
At bay. And if this town goes down, he gets out. Because read the first sentence you said.
So Psalm 74, Psalm is the lamentation that describes the destruction of the temple of Jerusalem by the Babylonians.
This is the temple of Jerusalem.
Yeah. And describes the destruction of the temple.
And its destruction would cause the destruction of the whole world.
Wow. It will release the monster. Oh,
facts. That's like a great twist. Yeah, 100%. Me too. It makes a lot of sense now that you read that, right? Again, I know even when you watch, they like, this is not lost. But they said that because someone asked the question.
A mystery. At the end of the day, this is a mystery. And what's the biggest mystery we've ever had? That's Lost. And the writers like the Lost. They all worked on Lost. So you can use that as a comparison. Not that it's the same beat for beat, but it's still that type of show. So I think that looking at Lost can still help you get to the point where you need to get to.
Absolutely, 100%. And it, like you said, there are beats for beats, but at the same time, I know they said, no, it's not Lost, totally different. I get it. But when you actually watch it and compare certain things that have been happening, the smoke monster, Jacob, the man in yellow, the man in white, you know what I mean? The Lost was an island that nobody could get out of. The town is a town that nobody can get out of. You know what I mean? You have good, you have bad. You're gonna have fractions, because I believe we already seen it. Lost, they had the people that followed John, you had the people that followed Jack, right? So I know there's like sitting there saying, oh, it's like, oh, it's not the same thing, but at the end of the day, it kind of is. So you can actually think about maybe not beat for beat, like you said, but where they're actually going with it. You know what I mean? And that's where I think that sounds like the new movie, The Gore.
So yeah, that's on Apple TV Plus on this comes out February 14th. So yeah.
Never seen it.
It hasn't come out yet. It comes out soon.
I got you. So I love it when you talk about Lost, because I take a shot every time you say Lost. Lots of fun for me. Lost. That's 5 lost. So 5 shots. All right.
Couldn't do that. This bottle will be empty.
But yeah, no. Again, at the end of the day, I do think there's similarities to it, and I do believe that you can find some of the answers, or at least with the way the show is taken. You know. Boo, why boo? You said you're taking shots, so go ahead.
Exactly. Now you gotta take 6. That's too much.
Yeah, facts.
We're too old for that, man. Come
on. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying is trying to give me alcohol points. 6 shots ain't gonna give you alcohol poison. Now, if I said you had to drink a whole bottle, then yeah, I could say that. But you're good. You're good with 6. But yeah, like I said, at the same time, there's connections there. You know what I mean? And I think that if we look into what happened in Lost, we could kind of figure out it may not be the same thing, right? But I mean,
we know it's not purgatory. No, they're not dead. But it could be still like it could be the gates of hell.
Yeah,
they're guarding the gates of hell.
Yeah, 100%. Good, evil. You know what I mean? I could see Boyd dying at the end to sacrifice himself for people to get out of there, like Jack did, right?
Mhm.
Boyd's
But
character,
that's just what you do in these type of shows. Your
right?
heroes sacrifice for everyone. I'm the way that people get home, so I'm
Yeah,
going to sacrifice myself for in order to make sure everyone gets home. I have my son and my now daughter-in-law who I'm going to sacrifice for them. I have Kenny who I love like a son. In this episode, he said was it? I think it was who said that he needs a father. Christy says Kenny doesn't need you
yeah,
yell at him. He needs a father, and he
yeah,
realizes that he's done this, but again, he can't do it just like he did to Ellis. You're gonna
yeah.
push him away, and once again. So I'm just saying, these things are very circular, and there's problems just like every other show is, and you see
Mhm.
these things.
Absolutely. And also, I could also see why you think, because truth is he needs to be ready to lead. He's the one who Boyd has in mind to take care of the town, right? So
But he
yeah,
doesn't
I could
realize how much he needs a father because he just lost his father, and he looked up to Boyd. That's why he agreed to be his deputy.
absolutely
He's not a
100.
man who's already been through all this stuff. Boyd's a man who's been through crazy amount of stuff. He's already, lost his wife. He already lost his, has his son who's the same age. So asking Kenny to jump right into that, it's a lot to ask right now.
So it's funny that I just popped this up on here because in the last episode and season, we found out that Ethan was born at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look what that says here. Remember, you lost it at the
Mm-hmm.
hospital the night Julie was born. So now we have confirmation that Ethan and Julie were both born at night. What is it? Born at night, die in the dark, right? Born in the dark,
Born in the
die in the
dark, die
dark.
in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we find out, and I can't believe
And
I've
then the
watched.
monsters come only in dark. Only at night.
Exactly, only at night. And it's funny because when I watched the episode again, I didn't realize this part until I clicked on it. So now I'm like, okay, so now we have confirmation that both of those children were born at night. I think Julie may be too old to be the sacrifice. So it has to be Ethan because he was born at night. Ethan, if that's the case, if they need to kill Ethan, if that's the thing, he has to be killed at night.
By one of the monsters. That's what their job is to do.
By one of the monsters. Kenny will be hurt when he finds out Boyd lied to him again. Yeah, I know. And that's why we're saying I think
He's
it's
gonna be a
going to
team
cost.
Acosta. He's gonna
Yeah,
be a team Acosta.
at least for a while, right? I think a lot of things we're going to get a fraction until everybody realized that Boyd was right.
Right all
Right.
along. Yep. Say Boyd was right all along. We were all wrong, and Boyd was right.
Yeah, you may right. And then they're all going to get back on the same bandwagon. Kenny's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I believe that big reunion is probably going to be where Boyd will have to sacrifice his fight. So, after you get the big, it's always like that. After you get the big kumbayas, you know what I mean? Somebody's going to die. It foreshadows it all the time. Foreshadowed it with Jim. Jim was giving all the kumbayas, boom, 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 and then boom, Jim ended up dying, right? So, I could see
finally
that
figured
definitely
out
happening.
my problems. Death, dead.
Yeah,
stab.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I could definitely see that happen. I could definitely see Boyd dying after that. But I do believe, like you said, that Kenny will be hurt and he will find out, and it's going to
I think
cause
all
him
of them
because
find out. All of them will find out because they want to start talking about the whole thing, and Donna's gonna blurt out, once I found out, blah blah blah. Then you're like, what? You knew Fatima was alive? And then
because
everyone will turn around on him.
I could see Kenny, Acosta, Randall being on against Boyd.
And then
Those
the rest
three
of the
for
town,
sure.
like the town are like sheep.
Yeah, right. And then I could see Donna, Christy, and Donna, Christy, of course, Ellis, of course, Fatima. So they're
Sarah.
gonna have Sarah, right? Sarah are gonna be on Boyd's side. Now, I think
But what if
Marielle.
Marielle goes on?
I think she'll go on. Yes, I think she will end up going on Acosta's side, right? Which is going to cause issues between their marriage or whatever. You know what I mean? The relationship that they have. So I could definitely see that happening. So yeah, fractions are going to be are going to happen for sure, for sure. You know, my only thing is, which I'm really interested in finding out, is the limitations of the man in yellow, right? So
If there are any.
If there are any, right? Because I think they made it a point to let us know that he walks around in the day when he killed Jim. Like that was something that they did on purpose to let us know that, oh, this guy walks around during the day. So can he get into the houses? Do the talismans have any effect on him? Are they going to have to put those totems up like they do where they found the food? And is that going to stop him? Maybe they're all going to have to go hide out in that spot because he can't get past there. I don't know.
Can you imagine the first scene we get in season 4 is a mass killing?
That would be crazy.
He just kills,
yeah.
And he kills 60% of them dead.
I if that's the case, because I believe some red shirts are gonna die at the first episode, right? Because he's just gonna be walking around the town. Hey, who are you? Slice of throat. You know what I mean? People are gonna see it. People are gonna try and run into their houses and stuff like that. He's gonna kill a few people. Some will get away, and we're gonna find out maybe that he can't. Because if he can get into the houses, it's over. It's over. There's
no run to the cabin, and that's the only way they can stay.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be a spot, because if there's no limitations, then season 4 is one episode. You know what I mean? Like, it's one episode. It's just, hey, the boy the man in yellow walks through town, just kills everybody. Walks in the house, kills you. You know what I mean? Yeah, the end. Over. So yeah, I definitely think that we're gonna find out that he definitely has limitations. It would be interesting.
What if it's the song? What if the song hurts him every time they play it?
That would be interesting.
And then that was the reason we thought the songs would summon him, but every time he plays it, it hurts him a little bit. He has to stay away.
Or what if he can come out in the day but can't come out at night? Then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to take our chances with the monsters instead of that man in yellow. Because who do you take a chance with, right? The monsters see it as a game. Now, maybe they might see it differently now that the man in yellow's around, but they've always seen it as a game. You know what I mean? They've always seen it as...
the monsters always feel like if they're gonna walk, I'm gonna walk too. I'm gonna stay 5 steps ahead of you. I'm gonna do that Freddy and Jason thing. You know, hey, as long as you ain't running, I ain't running.
And if Boyd or someone has a talisman, you know what I mean, you just bring a tent with you. You build a tent, put it in a tent, they can't get in. So it's definitely going to be interesting going forward. I can't wait till we find out more information, man, because this show is absolutely fire. Was there anything else? Yeah,
I'm trying to think. The rest of this episode was just them digging, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We have him finding the candy bar. Yeah. And then they're shooting ball. And then we have this simp motherfucker, this guy here. Cause a lot of drama in the next episode. But I'm gonna say this.
Are you mad as mad at him as you were at Elgin?
No. You want to know why?
Because she's cute.
She's cute. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because I could understand, you know what I mean? Especially if you're like him, he's in the colony house and everybody's fucking. And he's probably not getting no pum pum. You know what I mean? He's probably not getting any. So you get a little creature that wants to give him some pum pum, I guess. I guess he can take it. You know what I mean? So, but
man, just do some push-ups, man. You be able to get some. Trudy's all about everything, man. Whatever.
And it's funny because the amount of weed that they be smoking, you'd think he'd be able to get something. You know what I mean? Shit, motherfucker. Go fuck Donna if you can't get You know what I mean? Go holler at Donna. Be like, hey, Donna, you want to have a few shots? You know?
Oh, man. This town is crazy. This show is crazy.
100%.
I just appreciate us being able to talk about it and see these things, and understand if you're in this situation, a lot of these stupid things we will do too. But I'll never do what Elgin did.
Facts. 100%. Me neither. Not happening.
That's just for the Keisha right there.
Not happening. It'll be pure weed and fuck it. That's it. That's all. Don't get me involved in your little Fatima drama or whatever's going on. As long as I am safe in this house, I'm good.
But you'll never be safe in Colony House because there are people opening windows.
That's true.
Back.
Hey, it was him, not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know, Elgin was wrong. Elgin was wrong for what he did. Like, all I'm saying is we don't do that, you know.
But I will say this. I won't let him into the you can't come back into the cookout, but I will forgive him going into the next season. I'm not gonna like push anything bad on him anymore because he got what he deserved. You done the time, you lost the die, that's enough.
Yeah. For me, I'm hoping he does something good, right? I'm hoping you can redeem yourself in my eyes. So it's like, okay, Elgin, you're back on track. You know what I mean? You know what? Even a heartfelt apology, I'll be like, you know what I mean? All right, I can forgive you. A heartfelt apology, you know, I can forgive that. Just something, you know.
Ellis might kill him though, so I don't know. Ellis is the only one who's not horrified by the fact that what Sarah did. Ellis is like, yeah.
And you know what's funny too? I could see Boyd even being even madder at Elgin because Smiley is back. So what I did to kill a creature, you undid because he's back now. So I could even see Boyd being just as mad. But if Boyd forgave Sarah,
I'm sure he can find a way to forgive
Elgin. I'm sure he could find a way to forgive Elgin. 100%. 100%. You know what I mean? And I know we're going to get that scene where Elgin's in the hospital and Christy's taking care of him and we're all going to feel bad for him. You know what I mean? He's probably going to have a great I'm sorry speech and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, Elgin. All right. I'm going to give you a little bit of a pass now. You started off on the right foot. You know what I mean? Because even Randall was like, oh, I'm sorry for what I did did to you in the bus. And I was like, okay, Randall, good job. You know what I mean? So I have it in my heart.
Everyone's redeemable. Smiley was coming back regardless.
Yes, you are correct. 100%. But he pushed it along. He helped push it along. You know what I mean?
I expected more from Elgin. That's the only reason. And this is total bias. I expected more from him.
Facts. I got a question. Was Smiley born at night? Was it nighttime when he was born?
No, it was still the day.
It was still day, wasn't it?
Because they were playing the music in the middle of the forest.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It was still the day.
I still will say that it was weird as they played the music that the hatch opened. And it wasn't like anyone pushed it open. It just was open. So maybe it opened all doors.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that was the metaphor for them opening the door for the man in yellow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like you said, it didn't just bring the man in yellow. It brought the Kui kids. It helped them remember, but it also, I won't say it brought Smiley into the world because it didn't do that, right?
But it was a hell of an introduction. Like, yeah, I'm here.
I think it was just a coincidence that they were playing the music the same time Smiley was born for the dramatic effect of the show, right? But if you go with what you said, I believe it was the opening the door, which was the metaphor for opening the portal for the man and yellow to get there. I really believe that. But it is a great show. Did you have anything else?
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. I do enjoy the fact that we finished on this note, but I'm just enjoying going back and seeing all the things that they've kind of foreshadowed for us. And every episode is still showing me more and more things. So I'm just gonna keep on listening to stuff and then circle the stuff that we were right about.
And I definitely gotta clip that Garden of Eden stuff and the court and everything. I think that was something we cook something every episode we do, and I think that was really
this time. Yeah,
that was a really good one. Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Hey, on 1/3 of Spoiler Kings, we are on every Monday and Thursday at 9:30, and we're doing a breakdown of Severance season 2 on Saturday at 9:30 p.m.
Yes, sir. So make sure to check that out. I am Bigger Ford Entertainment. Tomorrow night we will be on the OOC. Friday night we may do a tournament. I'm not sure about that yet. It's always for me. It's always like, I don't feel like doing it. All right, let's do it. So that's not for sure, but we definitely will be back next week with episode 7 of this series, and figure out if we can figure out more stuff. 'Cause I know you said episode 9 and 10, you really had some juicy stuff for that one, right?
I have like, because I do a page for each one. I have 4 pages for 9 and 10.
Oh, that's great. Can't wait. So guys, make sure to check it out. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Nikisha, for popping in. Fromaholic also popped in as well. So I appreciate you guys watching and checking out the show. And like I said, we will be back next week. So peace, love, and hair grease, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Everyone in this town has been exactly where you are right now. There are things you need to know about where you are. This is gonna be the worst night of your life. Do you believe in monsters?